Oh man.
Hope you're all awesome. Welcome to our studio. Um, we're super excited that today we are releasing our new album, Anthems of Home. So it's really nice to have you in our home studio where a lot of the writing took place and
And the recording.
a lot of the recording too. Yeah. So, I mean, between we recorded a lot of it here, and then do you want to share about the other main place that we recorded?
Well, do we have humans on yet?
Sure, we do.
Do we have humans on yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
What
was
was
the
I
other
saying?
place that
Oh
we?
yes, our new album. It's out today. It's happy release day.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to be so official about it. This is a live, relaxed event here.
I know. Look, Gina said there are humans. Hi,
Hi
humans.
humans. We can't see who's here yet, but yes, it's out today. We recorded and written most of it here in our studio, but the other part. Hi Betty. Hi Cara. Look, there's some
Hi.
people.
Hi,
Hey Jeff,
Jeff.
how's it going? Yeah, we recorded how many? Four songs out of the 11 at Gray Matters Studio, which is the jar, also called the Jar Hole. In it is,
It is. It
it
seems
is the Jar
inappropriate,
Hole
but
in
it's
Nashville,
true.
Tennessee, the Jars of Clay Studio, and yeah, with Matt Oddmark, who is the Jars of Clay, one of their guitarists, co-produced it, and yeah, it's just he gets really good drum sounds and everything. Hey, Simi.
Hi, Sammy.
Um, so yeah, we're super excited. So I think the concept today is to just take questions and answers and talk about it. We're also going to show you some video clips and kind of run through the process of the first song we wrote and how everything
Yeah.
flowed. And then at the end of it all here, we're going to premiere our new video for the song Home is Bigger Than Us, which we shot a few weeks ago with Matt Nelson, who is in other videos and who plays cello and bass on the record. He plays with jars as well. So that's the plan, right?
That's the plan. And I'll just say that
Hey, Vahid.
creating this album was like a real journey and a real process, and a lot of you were actually involved in that in terms of just supporting us through it, being part of it in different ways. And so we kind of thought we would take this journey with you today. And so before we share our a clip from the first song we released from this album, I want to remind you that when this all began, basically, when I want to remind you that when all this began, we basically, we had it planned to like tour Europe. We were going to go to Africa. We were going
We're
to
going to
have,
go to Africa with Dan
yeah,
Hasseltine,
yeah,
Hasseltine from Jars of Clay
and we were going to, we were
and
going to be also
Bloodwater.
touring the US and Canada, and basically COVID hit and everything was just completely suspended. So we decided instead to just start writing and processing. And one of the first things that we were kind of experiencing was other friends and musicians who are in recovery, who were struggling in that place of isolation, and what it meant to be in this state where everything was on hold and there was no prediction of how long or what this was going to be like, or for a lot of them being truly alone in that process. And it's really scary to have that. So, the first song that we want to share, there's actually a counterpart song to it. It's two songs that go hand in hand that are on the new album.
On side two.
And one of them, we will not play it today because we did a music video for the first part of this, and the other one is on the album itself. It's called Recovery, but the first part is about, it's called This Is How My Story Ends, and it's about that shifting point when someone who's in a cycle of addiction,
Or
basically,
depression.
or depression. Yeah, I mean, it's any of these cycles, right? These painful cycles where they reach the point where they realize it's a choice point, and they can either go the route of recovery or just simply go down again around that circle again. And every single time that circle happens, there is a choice point of continuing on that loop or going into recovery. And this song that we wrote is about choosing making that choice to go the route of recovery.
And it was like she was saying, it's right when COVID hit, and the local our local church in town, which is about 10 minutes away from our house, um, had all the lights set up for Sunday morning services. They started doing live streaming, so we recorded this song really quickly. It wasn't an album yet; it was just the song, and then we went in with our friend Adam Williams and with a couple of cameras and just shot it and put it
Yeah.
together in a day, in just a couple of hours. So I think Gina's going to show Gina's like the wizard behind the curtain, is going to show a clip.
Thank you, Gina.
I will always come to places fear has made fall down. Crutch and bottle, break and throttle, tired and more worn down, signaling the end for me. Fear of mediocrity, a loss of all identity to the jowls of the dark. I will always wreck my passage right before it comes. Use the needle, not the steeple, searching for the crumbs. It's signaling the death of me. The truth is just too bright to see. My worth is my own enemy. Excuses are my friends. This is how my story ends. This is where the line begins. I'm falling down again. I'm falling down again. Rake and shovel, ask for trouble. I won't look that far. Broken teacup, shattered kneecap. I forget the bar. It's signaling the end for me. I've lost all simplicity. I've forgotten how to breathe without the bait. This is how my story ends.
Hi.
That's how it ends. It ends
That
abruptly.
was a rapid end.
Yes.
So if anyone feels like sharing or asking questions, we will take questions at any time about this. But in terms of that, so, we were all in that place of isolation and kind of questioning what was coming up in those moments. And
That song still reminds me, it still reminds me of being in that early COVID place where we're all going, is this going to be like this forever kind of thing.
yeah,
I still
I know
it,
we all
it
have
flashes
those.
me back.
Don't we all have such lovely nostalgia about that time period? No, but I mean, the reality is, like, in that state of unknowing, we all had triggers. We all had issues coming up in terms of that not knowing and just being in that place, which could be a place of fear. But I will share that kind of leads into the next song that we basically That was not the
It's
only
sort of
thing
the two
coming up.
songs, but yes.
Yeah, that was not the only thing coming up in that time period. It was in that spring time period following COVID, if the birth of COVID, if you all remember that, like, a lot of protests began to happen, and there was just so much polarization and strife happening. And of course, we were witnessing a lot of this from a distance, and we've both done a lot of advocacy and activist work over the years. And we'll talk a little bit more about that what we do in terms of that later. But right now, just in terms of that place, what really hit home for us, well, I'll share that Dan actually sent us a little voice memo thing, and it was just him kind of going, singing like just a few phrases with no words.
It was him on a piano going da 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 da.
Right, this
And
little,
he was like, can you guys do anything with this?
yeah, it was just this little tiny sound idea. So that was kind of going through my mind. And we went to a Black Lives Matter protest in our small town. We live across the Kentucky line. We're near Nashville, but we live across the Kentucky line in a small town called Morgantown. And there was a protest happening, and there was a lot of beauty in that in terms of what was happening. And there were also people screaming at each other. People in a community that is supposed to truly function as a community, screaming at each other, just yelling. And it kind of made me wake up to the fact that we all in that time period, whoever we were, we have to use our voices on behalf of people who are not being heard as a means of empowerment. And so long story short, I couldn't get that song snippet out of my head, and I couldn't get out of my mind and heart what was happening everywhere. And so I wrote the lyrics to that, and the whole time I was going like, oh my gosh, is it even okay for me, this white Canadian girl, to be writing about this stuff? And I talked to a few other friends who are also do advocacy and activist work, and they kind of gave me the loving reminder of like, look, you've seen incredibly positive shifts over the years that have been accomplished through advocacy work. And they were like, how's that happen? It happens because of the willingness to use one's voice in that way, and to not be afraid to speak up on behalf of people that you don't even necessarily know. So that said, I wanted to partner with as many people as I could in this and bring as many voices in as possible on this. So we partnered with the Poor People's Campaign, which is Reverend Barber's organization, got them involved. All the proceeds from it ended up going to them.
You're skipping some stuff.
Yeah, well, in terms of all the people we brought in, we went into the studio. We brought in, what am I skipping?
You're skipping.
So share.
Yes. We'll play the song. I think we're going to play the whole video of Our Words Will Be Louder. But yeah, it was during one of the first period, if anybody remembers, when they thought maybe COVID's lightening up. So we had written this song. I had one other song called Come Home, and we decided to book 2 days in the studio in Nashville at Gray Matters, the Jars of Clay studio that we mentioned earlier. And we brought in Christy Lene too, who came in. And it was the first time we'd been around musicians, the first time we'd seen other people. We were masked. Of course, Matt Nelson came in to play bass, who plays cello. Of course, as soon as we saw him, we all had our masks on, and we were like staying away from each other. And he was like, come hug. So all of a sudden we were hugging. And by the end of the day, masks were off. And but anyway, we recorded this.
We had all been tested before going in, though.
Yes.
I will share that.
We were very careful.
We were not terrible people.
No, we're not terrible people. I'm just trying to exaggerate. But yeah, we recorded both these songs on the same day. And at the end of the day, we were worn out at like 10 o'clock at night. And Christy and Moksha were doing the gang vocals for the end part. Our words will be louder. And they started piling on harmonies. And then it sounded, all of a sudden, sounded like this huge group of people. And that's when we had the idea to like, let's do a video. let's get a bunch of people. And then it all escalated really quickly. The song was written quickly. Everybody we reached out to: Kevin Hearn from the Bare Naked Ladies, Cy Kernan from the Fix, the Accidentals, Oakes and Smith, Robert Oakes and Kate Smith,
Jayutal,
Gangsta Grass, Alana Bridgewater,
Noel.
There's
there's
all kinds of people on this, and they're all on the video, and they sing Kata and Ragini, and Donette Thayer from some of you hardcore church people may know who she is, but we blended all their they're not only in the video, but we actually used their voices in the song too. So it's this huge group. And then when we got Reverend Barber involved, that was like the primo.
Yeah, and we decided to launch that song timed with encouraging all people, whatever side they were wanting to vote on, but all people to vote. So we were encouraging early voting. And, the reason we chose to work with the Poor People's Campaign is because they were doing a lot to make sure that everyone had equal access to being able to vote. And they were doing a lot, especially in Georgia and various other places. So we just felt like, that ability for equal voice is really essential. So that's what we wanted to support with this song.
Should we play it?
Yeah, let's play it.
Should the wizard play it?
Gina, wizard.
Justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
This is the color of the day. I am tired of seeing from a sheltered place. Who am I to speak? I've never known your song, so I'll turn the other cheek. The world is aflame. The makers and the martyrs burn to gray. Your words are ablaze. Signs being struck by bullets raised to say, I cannot breathe. These are the words I can say. Use my voice if you wish, but I've never known my place. Hands up, do not shoot. No justice, no peace, no luxury, no loot. The world is aflame. The victims and the bullies burn to gray. My words are ablaze. Signs being struck by bullets raised to say, I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. This is the color of the day. Raise it up like a flag whose on we will wave. Our words are ablaze. Signs being shot by cameras, what to say. Our words will be louder, above and beyond the armor. Our words will have power, above and beyond the armor. Our words
again. We will preach again. We will organize again. We are black. We are white. We are Latino. We are Native American. We are Democrat. We are Republican. We are independent. We are people of faith. We are people not of faith. We are natives and immigrants. We are business leaders and workers and unemployed. We are doctors and the uninsured. We are gay. We are straight. We are students. We are parents. We are retirees. We are America. And we're here. And we ain't going nowhere.
I got choked up every single time we were editing the video in that end section, and we just heard about the what happened in the Rittenhouse case, and if anything, we just hope things can remain peaceful in Wisconsin right now. So in terms of our own musical journey with this, thank you again for all of you who are with us. Yeah. Thank you. That's really appreciated. I think that,
Bass.
I think that that's the thing, is that music and art in general can be one of the most peaceful forms of advocacy and protest to get people involved in a positive way. And so we'll share another one. We're just going to share a clip.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, do any of you have questions? This is Q and A, and we're just doing A.
We're just yapping on. Anyone?
Anyone? Questions?
No, we'll talk about this next song.
We'll start talking about this next one, and if you have questions, just ask. This next one is, great, sounds very similar to Anthems.
Promised I got to make a techno clubby backbeat.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so that's one that we did not do a music video for, the song Promise. And
Caleb's on that song.
I know, our son is on that.
That's the only song that is purely electronic and doesn't have any actual real drums on it too. So yeah, Vahid, I'm sure you noticed some of that kind of 80s vibe on that. There's other 80s vibe songs on here and synths and stuff, but we also did a companion album of cover songs where we did like Duran Duran and some stuff. But I did that Promise around the same time, and just kind of wanted a straight, more of a retro 80s vibe with synths and guitars.
It was fun. But if you want to hear it and you don't have the album, you're going to have to go get the album or go stream it. So check it out.
I like Promise is one of my favorites too. We may be doing a remix of that too. So
yeah, which like a full-on, dance remix of it, which would be tasteful dance remix that exists, you all. It's a reality. So this next song we'll give just a little clip about in the journey. This is the next song we put out. It's called Come Home.
Recorded on the same day.
Yeah, recorded on the same day at Gray Matters. And
we're gonna play a clip of this one.
Just a clip, and just to remind everybody, this is a great time. Well, I'm not sure if you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube, but please follow us on YouTube. And Facebook, wherever you are, just follow us. Anyway, Gina, do you want to play this?
This one, before we start, Come Home.
Yeah.
This has the guys from Jars playing on it. Has Charlie Lowell playing organs and keys, and Mr. Matt Nelson, again, you'll hear his name and you'll see him. He plays bass on this, and Matt did the the orchestration strings on here. So him and Avery Bright did all the, it sounds like a full orchestra, but they did all the cellos and violins and violas on this. So we were kind of going for a Motown-y Stax type vibe on this song.
Yeah, I'm deeply, even if I'm totally not a Motown singer, I am deeply influenced by Motown and have been my whole life. So Gina, will you play it? Clip.
Back to our dreams. Without a map, I will grow with you. The tears of our laughter, a joyous mishap, run away with me in the wake of this vision. In a world it seems on a course of collision. Why does it always come back to this place? A mirror held up to my face, and I need to come home. I need to come home.
No. Hi.
You came home quick.
Came home really
We don't know when
fast.
it's going to stop, so.
Any questions about that? It was fun. It was just fun doing that in the studio with that crew. And, you know, I felt like it was, oh, thank you. Is it a collab on the concepts? I actually, well, that's a good question.
According to which video it is.
According to he's an amazing video editor, actually. But for most of the videos, I'm the one who, hi, Mom, who, I'm the one who comes up with the like overall concept and directs. And actually, the next one that we're going to show is called Beat the Drum, and I did the art
Hey,
for
Sean.
it. Hey, Sean. I did the art for it. I did the whole concept, you know, in terms of what happens through the course of the music video. And I collaborated with an amazing choreographer, Rebecca Steinberg, who helped me coordinate all the dancers that are in it, who are all dancers at Western Kentucky University, where I teach. So,
Hey, Bill.
hey, Bill.
And also Sam
Yeah, Sam.
filmed Beat the Drum, and the last year we brought him into the studio. He was quietly masked, capturing things, and then
Yeah.
he came and did the Beat the Drum video, which
Yeah.
was all, like we said, all Moksha's brainchild. He edited those ones together.
Yeah, Sam is an amazing videographer. What was the other word that you would describe him? He's multi-talented. He can kind of do anything in terms of with the camera. So we were really lucky to have him for those few. He's the kind of person who I could have a concept that I wanted, and I could map out that concept in terms of like with storyboarding. And then he could not just, you know, realize that concept in terms of what he filmed, but like do so much more. So we were really grateful to work with him on it.
Are we playing all of Beat the Drum or just some of it?
I think we're playing part of Beat the Drum, and then we were going to show you a little live clip that we did recently. So
With our son Caleb.
yeah,
We may talk slightly in between them.
Gina, do you want to show some of that?
Do what you got to do.
Living on the land, living on the land, where we come from, where we go to. Living on the land, living on the land, where we come from, where we go. I won't take up too much time trying to ease your restless mind. Living on the land, living on the land, where we come from, where we go to. Living on the land, living on the land, where we come from, where we go. We've stolen all she needs till we're blind from all our greed. Living on the land, living on the land, where we come from, where we go. Beat the drum living on the land, living on the land, where we come from, where we go. Minds have changed, our eyes are weak, we don't practice what we seek. Living on the land, living on the land, where we come from, where we go. Beat the drum harder, beat the drum harder, beat the drum louder, beat the drum louder, beat the drum harder, till the beat comes down. Beat the drum harder, beat the drum harder, beat the drum louder, beat the drum louder, beat the drum harder, till the beat comes down.
I think the live thing we're going to play in a bit picks up at that spot right there.
Yeah. So thanks
We
for letting
planned it
us
that way.
share that. But so we'll share. So that was that version, right? And it was really wonderful doing that. And actually, just to share in terms of the COVID story too, was that Rebecca, the choreographer, and I were working with those dancers through Zoom because we couldn't meet in person. And what was amazing is we kind of had Rebecca and I had plotted it out so that the dancers would be in pods that were already podding together. And it was right before, the day before the filming day, we got word that all of the dancers were vaccinated. And so that we could actually film out in the open outdoors together without worrying about the pods. So that was kind of a wonderful twist. And I'm totally not a dancer, but I loved being part of the movement.
She's awesome. Small little tidbit leading into the next little live clip. You know, this summer we toured up north and northeast as a duo. Our first shows for a while, and up in Canada, all of our shows were safe, outdoors, masked, all that stuff. And then our first band show in almost 2 years was at Wild Goose Festival, which was a super fun festival in North Carolina. And we had Dan, and his name keeps coming up, Dan Hasseltine, joined us. We did some Jar songs, and then we did, with the full band for the first time, we did Beat the Drum. Stand by Matt. Does that mean Matt's here? And Matt, he'll probably come in after, oh yeah, here he is in the waiting room. Stand by, Matt.
Good. We'll
after
bring
this
him
song,
after
we'll bring
this.
you in. Because you're in the next song after the next song. But anyway, we played Wild Goose with the band, first band show in 2 years. Dan was there the first time we were able to play Beat the Drum, and our son Caleb, who we never pressured to play with us, said, "Can I come on stage?" So it was his first time on stage right next to Dan. So we're just going to play a little clip of that because it's really cute seeing him up there. And it was nice to play with Richie Stano and Brian Brock, who are our drummer, who plays live with us and who's on the whole album. Mike Murphy on bass, Richie Stano on guitar. Play the other clip, Gina, please.
Beat the drum harder, beat comes down. Our minds have changed, our eyes are weak, and we don't practice what we see. Pulse will be our map to the beat right now.
So that
God.
was super fun to have, especially Caleb on stage with us.
Isn't he cute?
And you know what? I just want to share, this was like full on parent gush moment. He has his first band show tonight at the Capitol Theater.
In Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Bowling
He's in
Green.
Rock Band Academy right now. And
Yeah.
tonight's his first time playing with his own band.
Yep. So, and he's super excited. So we are too. So can we invite Matt into the
I think
room?
Matt Nelson's here.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, I'm here. Good to see your
Hey.
smiling faces.
Did you get a haircut?
Yes.
Oh,
About
look
14
at
inches,
you.
actually, if you can believe that.
How many?
14?
14. Yes,
Dang.
donated to Wigs for Kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
And I still have plenty left.
Good.
Dude, I don't. If I could borrow
You do
some,
not.
you should have donated those.
I
to
should have
me.
donated it to you. Who dosed signature wigs?
Nice to see you, Matt. Do you want to share anything about like your experience of any of the process of being involved in this album?
Wow. Let's
Being a
see.
video star?
What's that? Say it again.
Being a video star?
Being a video star.
Well,
Right.
maybe I can just say, for those of you who don't know Matt, he is a truly astonishing musician. He's one of those people who everyone should bow down to. And
Oh my gosh.
and we were really grateful to have him. Yeah, trouble. It's true. He's trouble.
Someone just said trouble.
And I don't know if she meant it like that, but yes, you are trouble. And we were really grateful to have you involved. Matt did this, not just playing strings and not just bass on some of the songs, but also actually playing like layers and layers of strings and doing all the arrangement stuff. So
He's cute and talented, they said. Someone just
Oh boy.
said.
Oh my.
And he played on our did all the orchestration on our last album as well as this one.
yeah. So
Oh yeah, right.
yeah. So anything you want to share?
Your something that stands out for me is the kind of fluid approach that you guys have in your creative process, which is being a sort of mostly Nashville session guy. It's a little bit of a different process from what a normal Nashville session player would run into. And there's, because usually in Nashville, there's very limited time to get a lot of stuff done in the studio. And so usually it's show up, try one or two things, and then make a decision quickly on what the right thing is to chase, and then hurry up and execute that as quickly as possible. And you guys have such a vastly different approach to creating what you do. And it's the first time I worked with you guys, it was an adjustment for me to get used to actually spending time chasing the right ideas. And it's almost like you're making a sculpture, and not as much like a filmmaker has a shot list and you're going down the list of, we're going to do this, and then we're going to move in close, and we're going to do this. But it's almost like a sculpture where we're all sort of standing in a metaphorical room together, and we knock a chunk off here, and we carve off a little over here, and then we all stand around the edge of the room and look at it from different angles, and we walk around it. And then, well, what if we take off just a little chunk over here on this side? And so we'll take off that little chunk and then see what that looks like and observe it for a little while. And then it finally, over this process of sculpting away what doesn't need to be there, we arrive at this great thing that it always winds up being great at the end of the process.
I love that metaphor.
For deep.
It's
Sculpting.
It's true though. It's true. And actually that's
And unattached most of the time. At least
Yeah.
we're initially unattached.
Sure.
yeah.
Well,
I
we
mean,
all
it's-
develop attachments.
it's interesting because like creative process on various fronts. I I've always valued the process almost as much as the end product, which I just don't think that's how it's necessarily geared in terms of, especially the Nashville music scene.
Mhm.
Not that I judge it, I just know that my own journey is very much like, let's enjoy this, let's see what happens, let's not have necessarily attachment in the ways that possibly are necessary in the other way of creating, and
Yeah.
I also it's interesting you use the sculpture metaphor, because I think we both think very three-dimensionally with music. So
Mhm.
I think 5-dimensionally with music.
bro, I think 11
You're
dimensionally with music.
You're on your own planet there, Wade. Well, another
Well,
thing that's been interesting is
how
that
about
go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, how about we play
We were at How Many Miles?
yeah, which you are
Oh,
part of.
cool.
And then after How
Did we
Many
ever
Miles?
land on how many miles? Did we ever land on how many miles it actually is, or?
No.
No,
Okay.
unfortunately, it was I couldn't get the GPS to track the actual route, so it's a mystery number
Sure.
of miles. Yeah.
We're somewhere in the middle, and it keeps recalculating.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, How Many Miles? I don't know if Vahid's still here. He asked the question, but that one kind of started off with arpeggiator and the synth thing too, but then Brian Brock put his world percussion on it. So it's a mixture of organic and electronic. And then, Matt did some awesome strings on it. And then we had our friends. I don't know if you guys heard the band, the Accidentals. Do anybody know the Accidentals? Really talented.
Really talented. You should
We
check
saw
them
them
out.
when they were like 17 or 18 years old play a festival, and we were like kind of blown away by them. And now they're super successful and awesome, but they sing on it. And they also helped us with live streaming during COVID, I have to say. Like when everything was, COVID hit, and we were like trying to figure out how to live stream and make it sound good, and everyone was like pivoting to like that. It was they helped us a lot. But I think we're going to play a clip from that. Everyone recorded their video parts. This is a very COVID video because Matt's sitting in front of me with penguins in the background. The Accidentals, little studio that they made for live streaming. We're all like in our house and walking. It's all very like isolation based. But I think we have a clip queued up.
How many songs from your song are we? From the song are we? From the song. How many voices calling, please belong. I long for you, your words construe the
Just showing little clips.
We'll show a clip, and before we move on to
that was one of the hardest songs to mix, honestly. There's always one song on every album that's like, there's like 13 versions of before you and you get lost in the weeds. At least for me, there's always.
Isn't that the truth? I think that's true for everybody.
I mean,
this one was
usually it's usually like one song every album that's like really bad that way. Benevolence Day was the song from the last album that was like that.
Coincidentally, another song that I played on.
And which is one of my favorites. We should have done a video for that. But How Many Miles was like that.
Yeah.
And we'll skip briefly. We're going to show another clip. We did an alternate version of How Many Miles because also, when was it? Like a few months ago.
We started, I believe, in May was when we began. We were chosen to be part of the U.S. team for Global Music Match. So Folk Alliance International chose us to be with just a handful of other artists and
from different countries.
Well,
yeah,
chose us from the U.S. And basically, Global Music Match is this international program where bigger arts organizations from a whole bunch of different countries selected these little groups of artists as reps and then teamed them up together. So we were on a team with a bunch of artists from all different countries. And the whole thing was just like collaborating from a distance. And it was really fun to do. And you can, if you want to learn more about it, you can just look up Global Music Match. And
we had Laripa from Finland.
Mm-hmm.
We had Lucy Farrell from the UK. We had Quote the Raven from Canada. We had Musketeer from Germany and Danny Larkin from Ireland. Did I get everybody from my brain?
I think we got everybody. Yeah, I think that's everybody. And it was just a super fun team of people to work with. And so we decided to do an alternate, since this song was like a collaboration thing and it was about the distance that exists. We decided to do a little collaboration of this with them too. So we want to show just
we stripped it down, added them, and then kind of changed the arrangement around. I think Matt still has appearances.
Matt's still there.
Really?
Yeah. So, Gina, you're going to play just a section of the Global Music. Yes.
How many miles from home are we? From home are we? From home? How many days from gone are we? From gone are we? From gone? Our compass lost, our treasure found, but not inside our hearts. How many miles from home are we? From home are we? From home? How many lies from truth are we? And how many truths from lies? How much nothing must we buy to think that we have worth? We have everything we need, but still we ask for more. How many meals from full are we? From full are we? From full? How many songs from song are we? From song are we? From song? How many voices calling, please belong? I long for you, your words construe the Babylon of dreams. How many songs
So that was really fun. I laugh every time I see Sassy the dog.
That's our neighbor.
running
That's our
into-
neighbor's dog.
It's a hilarious dog. So yeah, I mean, Matt, should we jump forward and premiere the video that we haven't done yet that you came and
Wow.
It's out today.
I don't know. Should we? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe we should.
We're at 52 minutes.
I will share that. I mean, there's another
Your TV show.
video. There's one other music video we did for the album called Testament. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, that song is like one of my favorites. And I did all the artwork for it and love it. So if we don't air it
You
today,
can show just you can show like the little clip if we want, real quick. If we go straight to that, I think there's like I put like a 2-minute portion,
yeah, share just a little
Testaments.
clip of Testament.
and then we'll premiere the "Home Is Bigger Than Us" video.
Yeah. And then any other questions you all have, okay?
What do you say, Gina?
Good, Gina?
Should we rock it?
Maybe Gina? Well,
Does
we're
anybody
waiting.
have any other questions?
While we're waiting for her to air just that little clip, I will just share that, it was wonderful to discover how to do time-lapse art for that. And the song itself is very intimate, so it felt like a really beautiful thing to be able to share sort of the intimate experience also of the visual artwork that's in it as well. So, Gina said she will use the Testament as end credits. So
Okay.
we will skip and since Matt is a big part of it, we will air
So-
the new video.
What do we say about
Today.
the new video? This is kind of the theme song of the record and the final song of the record.
Is, and yet it was not written until really late in the process. It was one of those like, oh, we're done with the album. And then I was like, I have one more song we have to add. And
Always happens.
it always happens, right? And what Matt contributed to this is really beautiful too. So Matt, I don't know if you want to share anything about
Well, I can share that I think the portion that I'm in the video was before I got my hair cut. So there is 14 more inches of my hair captured forever.
Very nice sunlit angles too of your hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was the golden hour. I remember it being quite warm. And that's really about all I remember. Yes, that was a lot of fun. And that whole area is so beautiful. There's so much beautiful landscape, and it's so friendly to what you guys do. So it was great.
right
Yep,
by
that was
our
a good day.
Matt,
Yep.
can I
At the
just
Green River Museum.
Can I just share for a second that one of the things I love about you is that you're such a typical cellist in that you start to play and you're immediately back at the conservatory. And so
Oh yeah.
we were filming, I was like, Matt, relax, loosen up.
We
You're
were
so-
dancing behind the camera guy trying to get Matt to laugh. So there are a couple. We got a couple of shots that we were. What was the actually we do the inappropriate thing to? About the other way we got him to smile. There were other ways we got him to.
Yeah, I
another
don't
way
know if
we
we
got
should
him to
share.
smile that we won't share with you right now. But those parts are in the video. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Shall we play "Home Is Bigger Than Us"?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's a solid house with a tin roof, with a picket fence and a green lawn. It's a solid house with a fireplace and a radio playing a rock song. When I can't find the answer to this bitter, bitter world, you give me something better, brighter than before. You're my someone who always understands. jagged world with a staggered sway. It's been a long year and a long day. In the blue of dusk I hear your song, and I know where I belong. When I can't find the answer to this bitter, bitter world, you give me something better, brighter than before. You're my someone who always understands that a home is bigger than us. I'll sing with you now. Oh, 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 oh. I'll sing with you now. Oh, oh, oh. It's a simple life with an honest name. I've remembered love, I've forgotten blame. When I can't find the answer to this bitter, bitter world, you give me something better, brighter than before. You're my someone who always understands that a home is bigger than us. Oh, 'cause all I ever wanted was a solid place to land, someone who could meet me there, who'd always understand that our love is bigger than us, that a home is bigger than
I like it so much.
Thank you,
Hey,
Kat. So we're super happy to share that with you all, and thank you. That's so sweet. And we got Matt to smile, I know. So thank you, everybody, so much. We're so happy to share that with you, and we're really just happy to celebrate with you today. So thank you.
Anybody have any more questions?
If you do, let us know. We're happy to answer. And also just, now is when you can, if you want to, you can help us spread the word, get the, sharing out.
Follow us on all social media, including YouTube. And if anybody is inspired to write reviews on Amazon or Apple Music, add us to playlists. We have that's the way you have to do it these days on Spotify. And
it's true.
Go to our Gina's got a scrolling banner on the bottom.
Scrolling banner. Yes.
We still have vinyl. We have orange vinyl. We have splatter vinyl. We have the deluxe version.
Wow, it's like this.
I can't figure out.
Everyone, follow us.
Yes. So yes. If anybody has any more questions,
hey, lovely.
Canadian family there.
If you have any questions, let us know. And Thank you for sharing this special day with us. Matt, thank you for sharing too and jumping in here. Anything else you want to share?
Oh gosh. No, I had not seen the video in its entirety since you filmed it, and it's beautiful.
You look
Happy to be a part of it.
gloriously sunlit, don't you?
Oh, yep. I mean, that part was outside my control. I just sat under the sun and sometimes smiled.
It is the golden rays of Matthew.
So we are super grateful for people showing up today. You can rewatch this. You can share it. The video is going to re-premiere at a couple hours on Facebook and YouTube, the full HD version, so you can watch it again.
Yeah.
And we're super grateful. If no one has anything else, we will say goodbye for now, and we will play part of Testament with Moksha's artwork at the end.
Thanks for having me on, y'all.
Yeah.
On the highway of green, in the poems of dreams, drinking gas station coffee with cream, and from behind the wheel to the place in the pines where the song is much louder than mine. Oh, and I have been gone all these years. I left a blanket of tears as a testament to that night. Stumbling into the room with a prayer like perfume, seeking bodies to give it a name. Well, the pulse was much bigger than my mind and my triggers. Every voice